So what I love most about living in Hawaii? Stay tuned. Hi everybody, it's Brian with Hawai'i Life. Thanks for tuning in again. And this is a fun video for me. Here I get to talk about what I love most about Hawaii. And Hawaii, more specifically Oahu, on the island that I live. Here we go. By far my most favorite activity to do right now in my life. It's the reason I moved here. And an old friend of mine, mentor, summed it up best years ago. He was from Southern California and he once told me, he said, you know, to me surfing, when I'm out in the ocean just sitting on a board, he said that's like a sundae. He said he's catching a wave is just like a cherry on top of that sundae. So, and that sums up for me is that, one, just being on the warm ocean here, it's just really, really special. And when you catch a wave, it's just a thrill. So highly recommend if you've never tried surfing before. Even though I don't want the breaks to be more crowded than they are already, I recommend people give surfing a try because it is wonderful. It is a lot more difficult than I expected, challenging physically on the body, but it's just a treat. This is also very special to me is the people in the community. Here in Hawaii, you have aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, and that to me what it's all about. Hawaii, Oahu, very diverse. There's a lot of different ethnicities here, but it really goes by the character and your personality rather than the color of your skin or any external features. And it's really, really special here is that this past year in the mainland where there was protests, riots going on, none of that stuff was going in the Hawaiian Islands. There were some few really like small protests, but no broken windows, no violence. And it's just wonderful here is that like the second place I lived in, after a very short time, a local family came over and the father brought some mangoes from the yard and their son called me Uncle Brian and we'd talk surf and I'd play around with him sometimes. And then another place I lived in, a local Hawaiian family, the dad brought me fish that he caught fishing, also some mangoes from his tree. And it's just a sense of community and people looking out for one another. Obviously there are exceptions like anywhere, but I've lived in quite a few places and never had this kind of sense of community and kind of respect. And you call aloha, I've heard different definitions of aloha, but the one I like best is, the breath of life given face to face and like kind of a respect and just an understanding to the other person. And yeah, to me, it's really special here in Hawaii. And on that note, diverse culture. Same thing with just all the different ethnicities here is that you got great food options here. You can talk your pidgin, mokes, the different languages, and you just walk the street, and I just really like it, just the diversity of it all, and that it works really well here. And I know like some place in the mainland where kind of like different ethnic groups kind of live in different communities, kind of isolate themselves, but here it seems like everyone just gets along quite well. Again, there are exceptions, but all in all, it's a really enjoyable thing to see here in Hawaii. And it's just a treat is that swimming, surfing. As a kid, I loved aquariums. I never had a tropical saltwater tank, and I'm no longer in aquariums, but you just go out here and go snorkeling, diving, and all the beauty of the sea life you can see, the fish, the honu, dolphins, just remarkable. It's just always, every time it's a treat to go in the water. So, and the fact that the ocean's warm, you can spend quite a bit of time just in like a shorts and even like maybe a rash guard. is wonderful. I have learned though over the years that my body has become more acclimated, and where my first year here I was like, thought people were crazy wearing wetsuits, sometimes even in the summertime to go surfing, but now like my body does feel the colder water in the wintertime here. So, but all in all though, it's still nothing like kind of cold water you're gonna find on certain parts of the coast on the mainland. We call them flip-flops where I came from on the mainland, or thongs. They call them slippers over here, but I love just wearing my slippers, shorts, and t-shirt, Hawaiian shirt, and even formal attire here. Men might just wear slacks and a Hawaiian shirt. No suits, ties here. Very, very rarely do you see that kind of stuff. So I love just the laid-back attire and also the laid-back vibe. Definitely Hawaiian time is a true thing here. But I don't mind it at all. It's just nice to have a kind of a, well, I don't always mind it. Sometimes I do mind it, the Hawaiian time, depending on what it is. But all in all, I like the laid back vibe and just kind of a island time. It's a good thing. Beautiful sunsets here in Hawaii, almost on a daily basis. If you're on the South Shore, West Side, North Shore, you're going to see some beautiful sunsets, the color in the sky. I currently live on the windward side, and those who know me know that one of the things I miss most is the evening sunshine and the sunset. So I'm definitely going to be moving back to other side of the island at some point, because whether it's surfing in the evening time, just sitting on the beach, or just going for a walk, or just driving the car and seeing the colors in the sky and just the magnificent sunsets that often occur on a weekly basis, it's a beautiful thing to see. So you're probably aware Hawaii is a very remote place. We're very far away from other land masses. And I'm glad I did some research prior to making this video, because I had been told, it was my understanding that Hawaii was the Hawaiian Islands were the most remote inhabited islands in the world. But I did some reading, and that proved to be wrong, that there are some other islands that are even more remote than the Hawaiian Islands. The only part of that where that is true is that for Oahu, for a population exceeding 500,000, Oahu is the most remote island in the world. But despite all that stuff, I really enjoy how far removed we are from the mainland. I read a lot of news on a daily basis. I keep track of local US news as well as the global news. And as far as the US, it almost seems like I'm in a different country here than mainland United States. Just seems like a lot of things that are happening on the mainland really don't affect Hawaii, or if it does, it's much more subtle. Again, it's just, we seem like we are quite isolated out there, and it seems like on the most part there's a very positive thing, and it's something that I definitely do enjoy. I don't think I'll ever get tired of this. Living here in Oahu and just being on other islands as well. Just so many beautiful visual images on a daily basis. Here in Oahu, I kind of have a nice view of the Ko'olau Mountains, and every day just seeing how the light reflects on the Ko'olau, they're just stunning to look at. And then driving on the highways, there's certain areas where you're kind of elevated above the ocean, and just seeing the different blues, the turquoise of the water, just stunning. So again, I know Hawaii, the tropical islands are just known for the natural beauty, but I don't ever see taking that for granted, because it's just on every day is different with the lighting and just how the ocean changes. It's just a wonderful part when you're out and about. It's just all the natural beauty. So this one brings me back to my childhood days, where I have a lot of great memories of my brother and I and my two cousins riding in the back of a pickup truck going to some places. So it's great to come here and see that Hawaii, the government still allows people to do that here. Obviously there's dangers involved, but life has risk everywhere. And again, I'd like to see that people still have some freedom here to do something that they might find very enjoyable, and overall can be done without doing harm to others. Last is mana. I've talked to a lot of people, and a common word I hear it come up is magical. And I gotta agree with that. It's kind of like the word love, is that you really hard to put, describe love. You gotta experience love in order to know what it is. And Mana, I definitely think there's something very special about Hawaii. My experiences here, the reasons that I moved here, what's happened since I moved here, very, very special, and I would indeed call Hawaii a very magical place. I've never been to any of the tropical islands, so I don't know if that's common for tropical islands for some unique reasons, but definitely for Hawaii. And again, for other people I've talked to, it is magical. So again, that's why I think a lot of people try moving here. But anyways, very special, and yes, I am very grateful and think I'm blessed to have the opportunity to live here. So those are the reasons I love living here. I'd love to get your own input if you want to leave any comments on things you love about Hawaii. But all in all, that's it. Thanks for watching. You take care, and aloha.